understand. I'm gonna love you till the very end. Peaches, 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 peaches. Ah, oh, yeah.
Miss Jack Black's in the Super Mario Brothers movie, whatever that thing is.
Worst part of this movie.
He's Bowser. Did you see the movie?
Yeah, it's
She said it was 10 out of
cute.
10.
It's so what?
The movie is so good. It's like if you played Mario in the 90s and 2000 whatever, and then we took Brian's daughter Blake, who's 7, to see it. It was so fun for everybody except for this part.
Well, it's fun though. I hope I didn't play the game, but people know the characters and right. He's Bowser in this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, Jack Black has a huge hit on his hands. This song because it's from that movie. It's silly. But Jack Black can sing. Mary didn't like Jack Black at all, but this is his first solo hit. They've had a couple of hits with Tenacious D, but Jack Black has never had a solo hit.
I thought it was a fake band when I heard it for the first time.
Tenacious D?
Yeah.
Well, they were a fake band, but they can actually play and he can actually sing.
What was their first hit that came out? It was the Tenacious D.
Tribute was the first radio hit they had.
Wonder Boy was
Wonder
played.
Boy.
No, I think I'm talking about the Kiss of Destiny. Is
The Pick of Destiny.
Pick of Destiny.
That was their movie.
That was their movie.
Yeah, that was the first time I heard Jack Black sing, and then I was like, Tenacious D. I thought it was just created for the movie, as promo.
They had a show on HBO before the album ever came out. That was where I got hip to Tenacious D. It was like the late 90s. They would have like these overnight interstitials in between movies on HBO. They'd have like 15-minute Tenacious D episodes. And then they put the album out in 2000 with Dave Grohl playing the drums, and that's where all the hits came from. And
Jack Black would be on. Was he on a couple episodes of Mr. Show?
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came out of that Mr. Show crew, and he was in Tim Robbins' repertory company, and so they were kind of crossing the streams there. So Jack Black had some performing bona fides, and then they decided, hey, let's make this movie. He had been working on The Pick of Destiny for a long time. And I think he directed it, but he wrote it. And it flopped hard.
It broke his heart. He never wanted to do it again.
They had a real hard time after that. They both did because The Pick of Destiny was a big old flop. But Jack Black, he's a pretty good movie career going. But anyway, I haven't seen this movie yet. I'd like to take my daughter, but she's not super keen on going to the movies. I love going to the movies, always did. Love going to the movies.
Well, it's going to be a kind of rainy weekend, so maybe that'll entice her to be like, oh, hey, we got to get out of the house. Can't really go outside. How about a movie?
I'd like to. Yeah, last movie we saw in the theater was Puss in Boots, which was dynamite. Very funny movie. And again, I don't really care about Mario Brothers, but it'd be fun.
It's really cute.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But this song from Jack Black, Peaches, his song to Princess Peach, is on the Billboard Top 100.
Amazing.
Getting millions and millions of streams.
Probably going to be his biggest hit ever.
It probably will.
Probably already is.
Peaches. Not to be outdone by the presidents of the United States of America, which will always have the superior peach-centric song. Teaches of Peaches is pretty good, too. But the presidents will always top any peach-related music stuff. So, Mary, you've seen the movie, Super Mario Brothers movie.
We saw it when we were on vacation one night. I played the two games that I played the most. I played Donkey Kong Country, and then the second one, which was like Diddy Kong's Adventure or whatever. Yeah. And then I also played Yoshi's Island. Those were like the three games that I played more than anything in the Super Mario universe.
Was that Super Nintendo or 64?
That was Super Nintendo. That was all Super Nintendo. We had the old school games, and my brothers were bigger on those. But, it was just so fun. It's so cute, and it's, a feel-good movie, and they do such a good job with it. I really, really enjoy it. I haven't enjoyed a kids movie this much since probably, I don't even know.
Have you ever seen the original Super Mario Brothers movie from the early 90s?
When we were sitting in the theater, Brian and I were telling Blake, we were like, there was a very, very bad version of this that came out when we were
with John
your
Leguizamo?
age.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
And you know who was originally supposed to play Mario?
In this new one or in the old one?
In the old one.
Who?
John Hamm.
Tom Hanks.
Oh.
Because it was right after he had a few stinkers. Like he had
Man with One Red Shoe.
That one, and what was the one? The Burbs didn't do great.
Burbs, yeah.
And Joel versus Volcano. So he had this kind of lull in his career, and it was, I don't know if he was going to be Mario or if I think he was going to be Mario. And
that was the Bob Hoskins role?
Yeah. And it ended up going to Bob Hoskins instead of Tom Hanks. Imagine if that had been a Tom Hanks movie. I mean, it's a trash
so
movie.
Bad.
I watched a YouTube documentary about it and just like what a nightmare it was and how they were like rewriting the script constantly, and they wanted to make it this dark, gritty world. But it's like, why would you do that with this really colorful, fun game?
Yeah.
It just because they had like these Swedish directors, and it was a mess.
I never saw the live action one. I remember
it's horrible.
I remember it being on. I know people piss on it. I think even the people who were in it, but I don't think Leguizamo thinks much of it. I just remember it being on the shelf at Blockbuster. Super Mario Brothers, 1993. Dennis Hopper was Bowser.
Yeah.
Yeah, this new one, I would definitely, if you have kids or even if you just played the video games, it's super cute. Really well done, really fun. Couple songs. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong, and it's great. I love the liberties that they took because Donkey Kong's like a big, strong ape, but they make him this goofball, and like in the original video games, Bowser had kidnapped Peach, and you have to go save her. And then they traded around in this one where Bowser wants to marry Peach, and they're going to save, if she doesn't, he's going to, destroy everything. So it's really cute. I really, really like it.
Bob Hoskins has been dead for some time, but he did say, I assume before he died, he did say that the worst thing he ever did was Super Mario Brothers. The whole experience was a nightmare. It was a husband and wife team directing, and their arrogance had been mistaken for talent. After so many weeks, their own agent told them to get off the set. He and John Leguizamo got drunk every day before filming and would drink in between takes. He was asked in an interview, what is the worst job you've ever done? What has been your biggest disappointment? And if you could edit your past, what would you change? And his answer to all three was Super Mario Brothers. I like that because there are a lot of actors who won't disparage a movie because so many people work on a film. They're like, in deference to the other actors and the crew, there's like a lot of cooks in the kitchen on any film. And so even if you're not a fan of your work, you're not going to go, yeah. And then you have actors like, oh yeah, biggest piece of crap I was ever in was Super Mario Brothers. No, I didn't see that. And see, now I want to see it.
It's creepy.
Now I want to see it.
Like some of the characters, who was that lizard face?
Well, that was the thing. They made the Goombas into these weird, small-headed dinosaurs. It was a weird.
That's what they were.
Because
the Goombas are like the little brown guys, right?
Yeah, and they're like mushrooms in the video game.
Yeah.
But they made them these weird
lizards.
and small-headed too.
Yeah, they were really gross.
Really stupid.
And then I kept calling Bowser King Koopa because of that 90s one. And Blake was looking at me like I was a crazy. She's like, it's Bowser. Like she kept correcting me, like, I know, but his little guys are called the Koopas and like this.
But I thought Bowser was King Koopa.
He is, but he's they don't know. Now. They don't address him as that in this movie.
Well, I think it's like blowing everything away, right?
It's really good.
It's like doing really, really well.
Doing really well.
A lot of times a kid's movie doesn't even have to be that good. It's just people want to be able to take their kid to something. And so those movies will blow up, but everybody's saying that it's good. So, especially since initially everybody was all mad because they made Chris Pratt Mario.
Well, they don't even do like that voice.
They couldn't, right? Like you couldn't. Hey, it's
me, I'm Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely take your daughter. She'll go with you.
All right.
I love those games too, and they have a bunch of.
Have you seen the cartoon yet?
The movie?
Yeah, the new one.
Not yet, but I'm going to probably go see it this weekend or. Monday
they incorporate so many different games into the movie, like
Well,
not just the original Super Mario Bros., Super Mario World, Punch Out. Like there's little. They pay homage to like every single one. It's really
That'll
cute.
be fun. Yeah, because still one of my favorite games to play is the Super Mario games. They have one that is like the side scroller still, but it's updated and it's Super Mario University or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but I got that around my birthday and I play it all the time. It's a fantastic game. And I just replayed Mario 3 all the way through and finally beat it for the first time in my life as a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
So that was I'm like, take that, 28-year-old that tried to do this. And
I only ever played Mario Kart.
Yeah, there's some Mario Kart stuff in there too.
Yeah, it was only the only time I ever had anything to do with
Mario
it. I mean, Donkey Kong when I was a kid, like at the roller rink, you played Donkey Kong on the original arcade game.
Yeah, it's really, I love it. I don't have enough nice things to say about that movie.
Wow.
Other than the fact that Jack
You
Black,
saw this in Arizona?
Yeah. Other than the fact that Jack Black sang in it twice.
And now you're a big fan of Jack Black.
No, it was the worst part of the movie. Hands down. But the movie was so good that it didn't drop the rating from 10 out of 10.
What precipitated you guys going to the movies on vacation?
We just had a free night. We had done a bunch of stuff. Because we went to Sedona, we went to the zoo. Like we had done a ton of activities.
You're like, let's chill out in the movie theater.
Yeah. So we're like, Blake had mentioned wanting to see that movie, and we're like, yeah, we got a free night. Let's go hang out.
You saw it in Phoenix? Goodyear or whatever?
Goodyear. It was this theater called. It's a chain of them called Hoskins theaters, and they were like amped up. They're one of those theaters that has like a full
bar.
Yeah, full bar, full menu, like really nice state of the art seats and the reclining, and it was awesome. It was a really good experience.
Now going back to the 90s, is this a remake of White Men Can't Jump? Because they just put the trailer out, or is it a series? Because White Man Can't Jump is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I think it's a reboot.
And I hope they don't mess it up because that movie is so good. And I don't know if they're going to be able to.
I've never seen it.
It's fantastic. Now, it's definitely a straight up 90s movie, but it's awesome. And I don't know if this new movie is going to have the same feel to it, but we'll see.
Was Woody
Jack
Harrelson
Harlow's in it?
that?
Yeah,
Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, and Spike Lee directed it.
It's just about playing basketball?
It's about how white guys, try as they might, simply can't achieve any verticality.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think that was a Spike Lee joint.
I thought it was.
No.
Okay.
Let me see who it was.
Antoine Fuqua?
Yeah, I think it's that.
One of his first movies? All right.
Ron Shelton.
Oh, really? The Tin Cup guy? Okay.
It's only got a 6.8 IMDb star.
That's dumb.
White Men Can't Jump. Well, anyway, that'll be on Hulu on May 19th with Jack Harlow and some other dude in the Wesley Snipes role. An actor
Who's
named
going to be the
Cinqua
Rosie
Walls.
Perez?
That's a good question because it wasn't
Just
the
put-
subplot that she wanted to get on Jeopardy?
Yes, and she did.
Who was the other female in that? Didn't they each have a girl?
Yeah.
Like Woody Harrelson. Rosie
Tyra
Perez was Woody.
Farrell?
Tyra Farrell.
I don't know who that is.
Rhonda Dean.
Yeah. That was a good movie, though. I like White Man Can't Jump.
Love that movie.
Yeah. So it's a, listen, it's a classic fish out of water story. Hey, here's two dudes. They couldn't be less alike, right? And they find common ground with what? Jumping.
Basketball.
No,
Jumping.
Just jumping.
Not-
Just jumping. It's a posthumous appearance from Lance Reddick, by the way. He just died, and he's still got a couple of films that he finished that'll come out for people who are fans of his. Our buddy Bruce Campbell is in town tonight. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago. If you're looking for something to do tonight, I don't know if there are still tickets over the Agora. I should have asked Tada when he was here, but the Bruce Campbell has got that touring fan game show that he's doing, and that's at the Agora tonight. If you want something last minute to do. What were you saying, Mary Lynn?
I was saying, I wonder how old they were because they look
I bet they were late 20s.
old. Like, how
Wesley Snipes and
yeah.
Woody Harrelson?
Late 20s, early 30s, I'd say.
Woody Harrelson was 29. Yeah, but I'm just saying if they were meant to play like teenagers?
No.
Okay, I didn't
they
know.
were
I
like
didn't
full
know.
grown men that
Yeah.
had
Like pickup basketball.
they were like past their glory days.
Okay,
like
okay.
Woody Harrelson was a guy. They were hustlers. So
Billy Hoyle.
Yeah, he was a star player in basketball or in college, and he hurt his knee, and so didn't make it further than that. But
and those two would team up and take people's money.
Yeah, they'd hustle people and like go to these pickup games, and it was just
it's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie. It's really fun.
See that.
And you get to see Rosie Perez's boobs.
Hey,
which are pretty good.
In 1992, they were.
They were very.
She's
good.
not showing them now.
You know who might be that role in this one, or at least
Laura Harrier is in this one.
Teyana Taylor.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she's got some boobs.
She does have some boobs, doesn't she?
Much boobs.
I mean, I assume. She the one married to Boobie Gibson?
No. The guy with the hair.
Oh, Iman Shumpert.
Yeah.
Shumpy.
Yeah.
Does he still play basketball?
No.
Oh. He's just shumping around with her?
He's just shumping around.
Oh, okay. Everybody's shumping around? Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, there you go. So for people who are like, oh, man, why can't they redo White Men Can't Jump? Because those guys were at the height of their powers, too. It was just like Wesley and Woody.
Yep.
Together for...
Great chemistry. Very funny movie.
Well, what was the movie they were in with J-Lo? Didn't they throw them together after that? They tried to, oh God, what was it called? They
Out of Sight?
Hey,
No.
No, Money Train.
Money Train.
They go, hey, let's see if we can recapture the lightning in a bottle. And because White Man Can't Jump made a lot of money. It was like one of the biggest grossing films of that year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Money Train did that.
No.
But J-Lo was in it. And to coin a Bill Squire phrase, she's got some boobs.
Well, she got some
now?
butt. She's more of a butt person.
But she does have some boobs.
She does have some boobs, yeah.
And Ben Affleck has seen them.
Mm-hmm.
no.
Played with them, slapped them.
I Googled Jack Black, just Jack Black, and two of the most common searches are, does Jack Black have a disability? And why is Jack Black so confident?
He's a smart guy. I mean, he comes from very, very smart people. And I think that he has a disability and that he is incapable of not being entertaining.
Mm.
That's his disability.
Interesting. We differ in that point.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, so you guys are on the topics of movies, and I got to thinking, when I heard Bill mention that Tom Hanks had a little bit of a lull, I thought Joe versus the Volcano was actually an underrated movie. And if you rewatch it, I think you'd enjoy it. But I guess I'd like to ask you guys, like, is there a movie out there that you really like that was universally panned or maybe you think is underrated or wasn't appreciated? For me, it's Hudson Hawk. I think people didn't get that movie. I think people didn't get it. I think they're expecting the redux of Die Hard, and it just wasn't. They were going for a different angle. It was tongue-in-cheek and a lot of dry humor in it, and I thought it was fantastic. And I'd like to know if you guys have any movies like that in your
perfect
repertoire or experience.
Last Action Hero.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
I love that movie. I think it's really funny and a lot of fun, and I can't believe it didn't do well at the box office because it's probably my favorite Arnold movie.
Mine would be John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. He had a
I thought you were going to say John Carter on Mars.
John Warlord of Mars. No, love the comic book. The movie was awful.
I think I might actually have one. I can chip in on this conversation.
Wait, John Carpenter's, what was...
Prince of Darkness. He had kind of a fallow period there in the 80s. Alice Cooper is in Donald Pleasance, and it's a group of quantum theorists at a university who are called to a church to help a priest determine whether or not this mysterious liquid is an unearthed satanic offspring. Oh. I love it. It's great.
Poundcake, what's yours?
Van Helsing.
Oh.
Hugh Jackman.
I knew it. I knew you guys were going to make fun of it.
Hey,
that is one.
That's what we're talking about, though. If you love that movie, you love that movie.
Like that, but it's so bad that it makes it so good because the acting is horrible. But
it was a successful movie, though. Made a lot of money.
The wives are gorgeous. The effects
Kate
are
Beckinsale.
Yeah, the effects are awesome. It's just like the acting. It's just like, ow, are you gonna kill her now?
What is he doing?
Who knows?
What's
doing?
Oh my God!
I never saw it, so I don't know.
I didn't either.
One of the wives' voices, like they were just so
like over the top.
Yes, they're like, "Oh, are you going to kill me with your steak?" Ooh, like.
Is that your British accent?
I think that's his vampire accent.
Oh, that's my Romanian accent.
That's Romanian?
Transylvanian.
You've never heard Melania talk?
I was on Doug Loves Movies podcast, and he always has his guests recommend a film. And the one we were talking about comedies, and the one that I said that relates to this conversation is Sergeant Bilko, where
Steve Martin
loved that movie growing up, where he's running like a gambling ring out of the automotive department of the Army.
Right.
And I haven't seen it since I was a child, but I had that movie on repeat. I thought it was one of the funniest movies. That
you were probably like in the
seen.
3rd grade or something.
I was like 8 or 9, just watching this movie over and over and over again, thinking it was like the funniest thing in the world.
Did you know it had been a TV show?
I did not.
Like your parents tell you that or anything like that?
No, but Doug Benson and the other 2 guests ripped me apart for liking that movie. Like, that movie was absolutely terrible.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember it being out. It was Dan Aykroyd, too.
Yeah, he was his, sergeant or whatever.
I didn't see it, but
yeah, it was just kind of. I remember, being like, hey, the Steve Martin movie, I enjoyed it, but I don't think I ever watched it again.
That was one of, my staple movies.
Yeah. Well, Steve Martin's another one of those guys where you see a lot of his movies and you go, how can a guy who's so unbelievably funny have so many bad movies? And you like him so much, and he's so undeniably funny. I mean, listen, you want to work, right, when you're doing movies. But, boy, there's a lot of Steve Martin movies that are just awful.
You're not a fan of Cheaper by the Dozen.